درود بر شما. In this brief presentation, I'll try to show the central place of Transoxiana Mawara in the musical space of Inner Asia from antiquity up to our time. The existence of a high-level art music is documented in Central Asia since antiquity by frescoes and sculptures featuring a great variety of instruments. The quality of these frescoes suggests that art music held a prominent place in the religious and secular sphere. A Chinese monk who traveled in Kyrgyzstan region in the 7th century recounts the beauty of the music of this place. At those times, the imperial Tang dynasty sponsored several music ensembles from Bactria and Turkestan, among which was an ensemble from Samarkand. According to an early Islamic source, Bukhara was known for a musical style of its own, including amazing sounds, surud-hoy ajib, and traditional laments transformed into art music. And this statement matches perfectly the present-day masterpieces of the Bukharian Shashmakam, such as Sarakhbar and Talqin. Under the Timurids, Samarkand became a musical pole which attracted the best musicians and artists of Inner Asia. Hafiz Abru, who died in 1430, described the official celebration in the street of Samarkand in these terms. Singers with superb voice and musicians with sweet-sounding instruments played and sang in the Persian mode using melody of the Arabs, performed in the Turkish style, in the Mongol language, according to the vocal intonation of the Chinese, and with the rhythmic allure of the Altaic people. Following Babur, many musicians, masters of the great Khorasan were invited to perform at the Mongol court, and gradually exerted their influence on North Indian music. Indo-Persian treaties, musical treaties, were written about the links between Indian raga and Middle Eastern makam system. The musicians of Mawara and Khorasan were admired throughout the Muslim world for their instrumental virtuosity. A Timurid chronicle mentioned a virtuoso of the Qanun who became famous for his innovative playing technique. One evening in Herat, he performed his instrumental version of a well-known song in such an inspired way that all the listeners entered into a state of ecstasy. The scholar Abdullah Morvarid, and musicologist also, declared the angel Zohre, which is the guardian of the planet Venus, has broken her heart of despair by hearing playing so well the Qanun. In his important Arabic treatise written in the 11th century, Ibn Tahan mentions the Persian lute with their slim necks on which the sun performed an unusual and admirable movement. And this description, I think, matches perfectly the dotard playing style of the Uzbeks and the Turks, which use the thumb on the low string in order to illumine the melody. For several centuries, Central Asia was an attractive pole for musicians of different origin and a center of diffusion of music and instruments, not only over the Muslim world, but also to India and China. This is attested to by the spread of musical instruments originating from this region of the world. In former time, the king of the instrument was the harp, but later on, the lute family came to personify a new period of music history in the Islamic world and beyond. According to some ancient Arabic sources, the best barbat players were originated from Marv. The Turkic lute, kopuz and chidirgu became the Chinese hopusu and chidigu, and they were adapted in Persia and in Istanbul. The barbat becomes the Chinese pipa and the Japanese biwa. The barbat appeared in Sogdiana and then spread in northern India, then Persia, China, and throughout the Muslim world in the form of the oud. Another important member of the lute family was the tambour. Al-Kindi, 9th century, mentioned the agility and velocity of the Central Asian tambour players. The ancient form of the tambour still holds a central place among the Uzbeks, the Tajik, and the Uyghurs. Since Al-Farabi, it is a reference for the theory of musical interval and scales, which during the centuries occupied the musicologists and mathematicians of the Muslim world. It is on reference to the tambour that the Indian also, in the Mughal time, defined the system of fretting their lutes. And in the line of the ancient Greeks, during 5 centuries, many scholars from Central Asia developed music science on mathematical and systematic basis. Let's just quote famous names that you all know, Al-Khwarazmi, Farabi, Ibn Sina, Fakhruddin Razi, Kamaluddin Banawi, Najmuddin Kawkabi, Bukhari, about which my colleague Jumayev wrote an extensive book. In the following centuries, the level of musical theory decreased in Central Asia, and Central Asia closed itself more or less off to other nations. The musician names fall in oblivion, unless Sasha Jumayev would discover them. But in the course of the 19th century, the composers are again identified, and until today they are very numerous and their works are always performed. And nowadays, the outstanding place of Transoxiana, Mawara, in the inner Asia musical space, to my appreciation, is due to several characteristics. First, the Bukharian Shashmakam is the sole organized corpus of complex and stable canonic compositions featuring classical Persian ghazal. The musicians of Transoxiana not only preserved these songs, but continued to create new ones according to the same principles. During the 20th century, the Bukharian Shashmakam was adapted to the Uzbek Chagatai language, resulting in a duplication and enrichment of the repertoire and style. Shashmakam and Khalqi classical songs are very rare case nowadays of bilingual repertoire, that is in Persian and Uzbek Chagatai, which are performed by really bilingual singers. The organization of the Shashmakam in suite is a genre widely spread during the Timurid area, but which disappeared for several centuries in the Middle East. Another case of musical preservation, which is very interesting for musicologists, is the Bukharian Mawregi, which is a light professional genre originating from Marv and Khorasan, which has also practically disappeared from Iran, but is very, very close. It's 99% compatible with entertainment Persian music. This musical genre feature, that is Shashmakam, Mawregi, and Khalqi, intonation, rhythmic, melody, and ornamental characteristics which must be preserved in order to protect the identity of Uzbek and Mawara music from the dangers of globalization. There is no doubt that this Congress will play an effective role in this endeavor. Therefore, I'd like to express my warmest thanks to the organizer for helping that the authentic sound of Uzbek music could be heard. And these days, we heard quite a lot of them. Thank you.